Hey there. My name is Bobby Jones, and I'm a retired nurse anesthetist turned alternative investor. I'm also the founder of On Call Capital, an equity firm that seeks to educate fellow healthcare providers and working professionals about alternative investing while also providing you with opportunities to do so. Now, whenever I'm thinking about a particular investment, I like to make a list of pros and cons to keep things straight in my head. But I think it's important to do this when you're first starting out with any venture that you might want to take on. On a broader scale, I like to go over the good and bad of an idea in general first, before committing tremendous amounts of time and effort to the cause. Today, I wanted to take this approach with the concept of investing in townhomes. I was first introduced to townhomes when I was in college. One of my neighbors in the residence halls decided to rent a townhome with his girlfriend. I wondered at the time why they didn't decide on an apartment instead, but hey, it was a nice, newer place with an open floor plan. I mean, I wasn't a fan of having to hike upstairs as soon as you walked in the door, but the bells and whistles kind of made it a no brainer compared to the dorms we'd lived in previously. There's nothing quite like sharing a couple showers with 50 other guys, right? To be specific, though, a townhome or townhouse or row house is a multi story home that shares at least one wall with a connected property. You have your own entrance and possibly your own basement, driveway, garage, and backyard. So let's get into those pros and cons of townhomes, shall we? First, a pro. Townhomes can typically be found for cheaper prices than comparable single family homes. This is because it's inherently cheaper to build properties that share walls than it is to build them separately. Townhomes are typically less in demand compared to single family homes. This can lead to tens of thousands of dollars in savings at the outset of your investment. Keep in mind, though, that if you're looking at end units of a complex, those usually cost around 5% more than the middle units because they offer a little bit more square footage, more windows, and possibly less noise. Next is our first con. Financing can be a challenge as compared to single family homes. Lenders have difficulty in classifying townhomes and often ended up treating them as condos. Now, this means more restrictions and a more expensive mortgage overall. Lenders may refuse financing altogether if there are fewer owner occupiers versus renters in the overall complex. FHA loans are particularly challenging as they follow a strict 50% rule with owners versus renters. Now, our next pro. Townhomes can actually be very popular because they're often located near downtown centers. Now, this can be great for cash flow since single family homes near downtown are much less common and much more expensive to purchase. This makes them harder than townhomes to actually positively cash flow. Now, our next con. HOA fees are very common with townhomes. Home ownership associations are notorious for having power hungry micromanagers, but many aren't really that bad. The thing to keep in mind with HOA fees is that they can fluctuate. You may purchase a home with low fees only to see them jump up if the HOA needs extra money for special assessments or cash reserves for repairs. This means the expenses of a townhome are less fixed. You also have to worry about all of the association rules that apply to outwardly visible aspects, such as vehicles and window fixtures. You also may find that a potential renter has a pet that doesn't meet the association guidelines, leading you to turn them away. However, this discussion of HOA does lead us to our next pro, which is that there's less maintenance overall for a landlord to worry about because of everything that the HOA covers from an expense standpoint. The HOA will pay for exterior maintenance of the property, including landscaping, painting, snow shoveling, and the like. They also pay for exterior insurance. This means that your passive income can actually be a little bit more stable since the only large expenses that you have to worry about are in the interiors of the units. Now, our next con has to do with appreciation. Appreciation just happens more slowly with townhomes in general. This is because a large reason for real estate appreciation is the land that a property actually sits on. The yards for townhomes are very small or not even included with the purchase, depending on the location you're purchasing. Since townhomes are on a lot less land than single family homes, they typically appreciate more slowly. Now, this isn't always true, but it does mean that your investment strategy should focus more heavily on positive cash flow when looking at these types of investments. Now, our last pro. Investors can often find a townhouse complex that has great amenities, such as a clubhouse, pool, playgrounds, dog parks, and community gyms. These attract renters in the same fashion as apartments do. And let's face it, single family homes don't often have that kind of access to these types of amenities. All in all, townhomes fit somewhere between condos and single family homes. They are less affordable than condos with greater upside for rent growth and appreciation. They are more affordable than single family homes, but with less appreciation overall. Townhomes are showing up often and in more cities as eye catching new construction, and they actually make up around 13 to 15% of single family housing overall. Depending on the location, many of them hold their resale value very well. Now, I did want to tack on a bit about stacked townhomes here. These are hybrids between condos and townhomes with multiple dwellings built with a two-story floor plan. These are becoming popular in highly dense urban cities, and they can either be a part of a corporation with a condo association, or they can be freehold. The idea is to provide homeowners with a new type of property that's less expensive, convenient, and comfortable. The important thing to know about stacked townhomes is that they behave more like condominiums from an appreciation standpoint. And this is because they're often bought and sold as units without including the land that the unit's sitting on. Since they don't include the land, this goes back to our last con. That means they appreciate slower in comparison to standard townhomes and single family homes. Now, I hope this info helps you out on your investing journey. That's going to do it for this video. If you found this information helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have questions or comments about the video, please comment right below. If you're interested in getting access to passive real estate investment opportunities or other alternative investments, reach out to me here or on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, or you can visit my website at www.oncallinvestments.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.